What's up, y'all? Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. We are in the final stage of the Evo restoration here, which is a good thing because we have 1 day left before we have to move. So this is like the last day we can work on the car and get things done on it. So yeah, we got brake calipers, brake lines, fluids, that kind of stuff, and then we should be good to go. So yeah, let's get to it because there is literally no more time to waste. All right, we got our brake rotors here. We got to take those outside, hit them with some brake cleaner. We got the brake lines there in the bag. And then I think that's all we got left in here. The pads are outside in the garage, so let's grab these, get them outside. All right, so I went ahead and cleaned it with some brake cleaner and got it up on the hub, and man, it looks so good. It's kind of surreal seeing all the parts put together like that after being off the car for so long, but man, I'm loving how it looks. Now, let me explain this really quickly. So this has been a topic for years on rotors, on the Evos and stuff, about the direction of these fins. Now, generally, it really matters with the fins on the inside of the rotor to direct the air and all that kind of stuff. But I forget which brake company it was, but recently, within the last few years or whatever, they changed the design and they have like a bunch of little fins in there, and that way they could not be rotational and stuff. And to me, when I look inside of here, I can't really show you guys, it's so dark, but it looks like that pattern is on this rotor as well. There's a bunch of little fins in there instead of like the directional fins, so I don't think they are rotational. Plus, this car is not going to see like track use, so not a lot of heat and whatever. Sure, we'll have some spirited drives here and there, but as far as like hard track use, I don't see that happening. So I thought, one, this calms my OCD, having them go that way, and two, aside from that, which is more important, I thought we'd do a test. We'll put them on this way, and then we'll run them for a while, and then when I change rotors and pads in a year or so, however long, then I'll put them on the other way, and we'll do like a little test, a comparison, and we'll see if we can tell a difference. And whether it's like rubbing or squeaking, whatever happens, we'll be able to tell and go from there. But for now, I put them on this way, and yeah, that's that. All right, got this side on. Up next, calipers. All right, this side is on as well. Whoa, that's bright. This side is on as well. Now I'm gonna go inside and grab the stainless brake lines, and we'll hook those up, and we are good on brakes. I said it before, and I'll probably keep saying it, but it just feels so surreal putting this stuff back on the car. Like, this is like the first things I took off of the car was the brakes and stuff, and so it's starting to like hit me now that we're like, this is it, like we're done with this thing, and it's rather exciting. All right, we got rotor, caliper, line, everything's on. So before I go and bleed the brakes and all that stuff, I'm gonna go put the oil in the diff and in the transfer case and get that out of the way, mainly because I don't like bleeding brakes, and so we'll do that last. So we've got the built diff from TRE, and they recommend the AW140 from Redline here, so we're gonna fill this thing up with this and get it all nice and lubed in there. All right, we got that all filled up. I tell you what, this little sight glass right here makes things super handy. They got little lines there to mark where you're full at, and of course when it runs back out, you're full, but I added a little bit more in there than I probably should have, but they said to put some in there, fill it up, and then drive it around, and it should settle in. And so we'll check it when we get down to North Carolina and see what all happens and see how much more I need to put in there, but for right now, we're good to go. Now, let's go up front and we'll do the transfer case. I'm actually probably not going to show the transfer case that much because it's the same process as this. Just got to put the little hose in there, pump in the oil, and we should be good to go. So I'm going to go do that real quick, and then we'll come back afterwards. And of course, while I'm under the car, there was something else that had to be done. So I had to remove the downpipe to get to the fill plug on the transfer case, which that's fine. The downpipe needs to come off anyway because we have a new one of those. I will show that later on with the exhaust. We're going to do that all at the same time probably, hopefully, cross our fingers. Yeah, got that off, got the transfer case filled up, and now we got to work on the brakes, get the pads in there, and get some fluid in there and start bleeding those, and then that's it. Put the wheels on and get this thing off these jack stands for the first time in months. I am pretty excited right now. I would argue that the brake pads are one of the easier jobs to do here. We got, just drop the pads in, and then you run your pins through here and here, and then there's a little thing, I'm not sure what to call it, but it goes in the middle there, and that is what the pins go over top of and holds everything in place, and that's it. I got excited and I went ahead and put on the bumper beam there, and it kind of got me thinking that like this piece here was like the start of all this, really, taking care of the rust and all that stuff. I took this thing off and sanded it down to bare metal and then put some coating on it there, and then I started thinking like, I could probably do the whole car, I think, maybe, possibly, and here we are. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bleed the brakes. I'm not gonna show this part just because it's your average like vacuum system that you see all the time online probably. So I'm gonna go ahead and bleed the brakes, get those nice and tight, because the car can't run right now anyway. The fuel system's not done and all that stuff hooked up and everything. So, but when we're getting it onto the trailer and off the trailer, it's gotta stop, obviously. So we get them all nice and tight and good to go on the brakes, and then we should be solid. Alrighty, we got the brakes bled. Now all that's left is to put on the wheels. Now this part kind of bums me out because with the ball joints and stuff that we put on there not being complete, I'll link a video up top if you guys missed that video, check that out. But with those ball joints being incomplete and we're kind of like hanging on by a thread there, I have a brand new set of wheels in there, and I'm super excited about them. We got brand new wheels, brand new lugs, all that stuff. But I don't want to put on those wheels with this stuff like not complete in there. So I'm gonna put on the old like shitty wheels. They're over there somewhere. You can't see it because of the light, but I'm gonna put on the old shitty wheels one more time, and when we get down to North Carolina, I'll be able to do all that and put the new ones on there, and we'll do. I'll show you guys the wheels and all that stuff. But for now, let's spray off all the dust and crud off these crappy wheels, and we'll throw those back on the car, and get this thing down on the ground. All right, we got it jacked up. We got it on the race ramps. It now has weight on the suspension and all the arms and everything, and there wasn't the first like pop, crack, nothing. I was surprised and excited about that. I'm gonna have to do some adjusting on the arms for the alignment, not this side, but this one over here. It's rocking a little bit of pigeon toe, it looks like. It's kind of inward a little bit, but yeah, we'll fix that. But yeah. All right, it is the next day or night, I guess. It's super late right now. We got to get the car down on the ground because we leave in about 12-ish hours. And so I set it on the blocks last night in the rear. You guys probably can't see that, it's super dark, but I set it on the block so it'd be load bearing to see how everything went, and went super smooth. So we're good to go. I'm gonna get it off the stands, get it down on the ground actually for the first time in months. And so yeah, we'll get it down on the ground and get it ready to go on the trailer tomorrow, and we're out of here. All right, she's on the ground for the first time in months. Very, very exciting. There were some sketchy moments there with the jacks, but we got it. But yeah, tomorrow morning we'll throw her on the trailer and we're out of here.